morning show where we sold a trend.
Going on social media, supporting the
Hello and welcome back to the Amateur Shit Talkers. Today we have another solo episode for you guys because we know you love them. Jeez, it feels like I've said that 3 times today.
No, I don't think I've
Definitely
said
haven't.
it 3 times. No way. This
No.
definitely isn't third time's the charm.
Yep.
Welcome back, everyone. we do enjoy talking to you with just us. We get the full couch. We get to all the space we want.
Man spread is
Man spread all you like. It's a lovely sunny day in Broadford. Oh, it's hot.
It doesn't look too sunny.
actually.
It looks a bit murky. Actually,
It's somewhat cloudy. I think it's partly cloudy and about 33 degrees. If anyone's wondering, yeah, it's,
all that hot breeze.
that hot breeze is shocking. I don't know about you,
Sickening.
but winter is my thing around here.
Yeah.
Living in Victoria, winter's got to be a thing. If I lived anywhere else, I would love summer.
I don't mind sun hot, but as soon as the wind starts getting hot and blowing,
Oh, it's just
Put
not
anybody
fun. Like
close,
just
Jesus.
the other day, it was pushing 40 degrees down in Melbourne. Oh, just
Yeah.
so hot.
we went around for that. We were up.
Or
venturing Corryong.
up in Corryong. I
Yeah.
love that place. Good part of the world, man. Usually it's my dad, grandpa, brother, and I. We head up for one night a year to go to the Taiwan Cup, and but my brother was working this year, so I dragged Ben along with me, just because he's plays a pivotal role in my family.
Yep, that's me.
Good time though. Hey.
Yeah, bloody oath. And I think it's always good to, obviously, that's one of your family traditions.
Yeah.
But I think something we should talk about today is family traditions and, how they, differentiate through so many different families.
They are very different. We'll get into that a bit later on, though,
a bit later,
after our first segment today. Now, bit of context for this one. So we want to have a chat about bullying. But we've seen this a bit because, obviously, Ben and I are still Year 12 students.
Yep.
New Year 7's coming through. Everyone's trying to make their mark as who they are. It happens every year. Everyone's seen it. If you've been to school, you've seen it. You know, people want to be cool when they go to a new environment, and they can do it in the wrong ways. And we've seen a bit of bullying going on. It's pretty poor.
That's for sure. And I don't
It's
understand.
pretty average.
I'd love to, me personally, I've never, in my eyes, been a bully. But I just don't understand. I'd love to see it from a bully's point of view.
Yeah.
It would be awesome to, maybe one day we'll have a chat with someone who used to be a bully. That would be interesting. But
Grab a different perspective for sure.
yeah, but the way, I don't understand how someone could go and humiliate someone or go and cuss at someone or make them belittle them
Yes.
and feel good about themselves. But
Well, I think there's definitely reasoning behind it,
Yeah.
and a clear one is family upbringing. So we've been
100%.
we've been lucky enough that we can't understand how they do it because we've always been around we've had a loving upbringing, and we're very lucky for that, extremely lucky. But a lot of people, or some people, haven't. You know, they don't get to see a polite relationship between mum and dad, or a relationship between mum and dad at all, sort of thing. And that's where they're the way that they perceive love, or the way that they perceive that they should be treating someone, is completely different to how we might be perceiving it because of what the foundations we were built on with our childhood.
yeah, 100%. Depends on, your circumstances of your upbringing and I guess having siblings as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think sometimes if you had, say, a dominant sibling that's kind of shut on you your whole life, that it might feel like you can go out there and finally you can feel like a bigger person and
I know what you mean.
do to someone else what was happening to you. But yeah, and I always wonder, do people ever really grow out of bullying?
Well, it depends. Is bullying the base of it? Is bullying that if you never fully grow out of bullying? Bullying, what I said before, is it sort of comes from your upbringing, and that's sort of your base. I don't think you ever grow out of your base,
Yeah.
the base of who you are, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And those initial 5 years of your life, I would say, 5 to 10 years of your life,
Yeah.
when
100%.
when you learn your basic human traits,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And I think bullying's a subset of that. So I don't think you ever grow out of those 5 to 10 years. It somewhat still lives on within you, whether you like it or not. It's in good and bad ways for every single person around the globe.
Yeah. And
and I don't think you do.
yeah,
I think
100%.
I think it's very tough to do it. It's still there somewhere.
you'll always bring some sort of characteristics along with you.
Exactly. Yeah.
All the way through life. But there's also different types of bullying as well, which we have to understand because there's obviously, face-to-face, just verbal bullying.
Then there's the
which is one
keyboard
thing.
warriors.
Yeah, there's the keyboard warriors, which is something that obviously, like, you can try and block them and all that stuff, but you can't really get away from it firsthand.
A lot of the time, it's like those sort of circumstances, especially with school sort of thing. It's people at school that are doing it because they don't want to do it to your face around
Yeah.
teachers, sort of thing.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot of people, like as I said, people that want to make their mark and make themselves look cooler by putting someone else down.
Yeah, and it's sad.
It is. It's sad, especially when you're watching it from a third person perspective. Because yes, it's definitely sad for the person being bullied, but just watching the whole thing unfold, and the person bullying, a lot of the time they don't want to do it.
Yeah,
Like they don't necessarily want to do it, but they think they should do it because it will make them look cool, and they're seeking other people's validation because possibly they didn't have the validation of people earlier on in their life, so they go seeking it in wrong avenues later on down the track.
yeah,
And then you see someone paying the price for it who just simply doesn't deserve it.
yeah,
Especially a kid that just wants to read his book at lunchtime rather than go and play footy,
yeah, 100%.
There are plenty of ways to, control it and mitigate it, I guess. Stop it.
Yeah,
Especially from talking from that third and second person perspective, like the person being bullied and sort of the bystanders sort of things. It depends. Obviously, there's many different circumstances which it comes under, but we see it a lot at school, and a lot of people see it a lot at school,
yeah,
and we're in younger people. So that's where it comes down to teachers. And there's definitely a lot of schools that I've seen that haven't controlled it very well.
yeah,
And students pay the price for it. And it's absolutely unfair.
yeah, 100%. And I think it also comes down to some people don't. I don't think every school has the right to be able to say that they have a welfare team.
Yep.
I'm not sure every school has that, which a welfare team is a massive part of a school. It's,
Absolutely. Especially post-COVID.
100%.
Especially post-COVID. People say, you hear people talking about the effects of COVID, what's happened to people, yada, 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 yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But, mate, the effects that COVID has had on our society is huge.
And some people are going through the stages of life where it's really it's the stages where you really rely on yourself to be able to build yourself up and build different morals for yourself and everything, and they've missed out on them parts because they're in their room.
Absolutely.
Or just playing board games with their families and that, which obviously you build a bit from that, but going back out and trying to interact, you might end up just being a quiet kid that
relearning social skills.
Yeah.
That actually happens. Think about it from go a 10-year-old boy going into COVID, all right? Or no, we'll go 9-year-old boy going into COVID. You start wanting to play video games all the time. You start just wanting to play Xbox a bit. And but normally in an ideal reality, that's counted with, going outside and playing at recess and lunchtime.
Yeah.
You take that away from him. You took that away. That was gone for about a year and a half.
Yeah, and I think...
And that was just time spent in front of a screen, and that set the standard for a lot of those people in their lives, especially year 7s coming through now.
Yeah. And
Screen time was a lot more common than we had it even 5 years ago.
Yeah. That's a massive part, I'd say. And going from grade 6 to grade 7, if you're in the stages of COVID there where, you're quarantined and everything, I think that would have a crucial part on you because you don't know. Obviously, you might lose some friends from grade 6, they'd go to a different school, but you're not, ready to go out and start interacting with people again because you haven't interacted for a long time.
It's... Yeah, when you look at the actual statistics of mentally the effects that... obviously, COVID had a physical effect because people were sick and a lot of people died, but...
Yeah.
The physical... The mental effects that lockdowns had on people was astronomical and will stick around for the next 20 years of our lives.
Oh, 100%.
It has shaped people's lives and changed the ways that people's lives actually went.
Not even for 20 years on, it's the rest of their lives.
100%, it's the rest of their lives.
It's built them now.
Because especially in young people, it's the pivotal years of your life.
Yeah.
Missing out on it, it affects you. Because these are, as I spoke about earlier, these are still creating the base you have for your life.
Yeah.
Yes, you might be in, younger than 25, but that's still the structure at which you build yourself on. Life goes on after 25. A lot of people, like after you turn 25, life's still going. A lot of people that are teenagers, I feel like, don't accept that as much. When you talk about what are you going to do in the future, it talks about uni, maybe traveling, whatever. But yes, you want to say you have a family, but you never really think about it like that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I've never, even just as a 17-year-old, almost 18, I never consider what actually happens after 25.
Yeah. Nah.
Because life keeps going. These are the structures that you're building that life on afterwards. And that's why everything that happens in this time will affect you in the long run.
Yeah, but it's crazy, because, like, obviously I am 18 now. And now it kind of just feels like beforehand I was kind of just, like, waiting to be 18 to be able to start building a path for myself and, like, it's kind of like getting around a Monopoly board, like...
Yeah, I know what you
trying
mean.
to, get your houses, all that sort of stuff, get around the block. But... yeah, it's kind of like now I just feel like I'm just bringing stuff in. Like I'm 18, I'll get a car, which I have now, and then next I'll get maybe a house, which that seems like a massive jump. There must be something in between.
There'll be a few things in between, I reckon, Ben.
Yeah, and then like there's having a family and all that. But it's like as soon as you turn 18, nothing changes, but the different checkpoints you have to get to.
Absolutely. Like I heard a different thing. I heard a thing the other day describing adulthood, and it said you don't actually realize that you're an adult. There's no time at which you say, "Oh, okay, I'm an adult now, and I do adult things."
Yeah.
You just slowly go on through life. You still feel like you're 18, but you just slowly start doing more and more grown-up things.
Oh, 100%.
And you just catch yourself doing them and think, "Shit, this is a bit grown up."
Yeah, 100%.
Like that's what growing up is. Shit, this is a bit grown up. Shit,
Yeah.
this is a bit more grown up. Holy shit, I got a family.
And I was talking to you the other day. It felt like it did not feel weird for me to start driving everywhere by myself and all that stuff, but it felt weird to be able to go to my own car and unload a case of beers. Like that felt like the most grown up thing I'd done.
Yeah, because that's just a little checkpoint. It's like shit, that was a bit grown up. I got my own beers.
Yeah, that's it.
That is a bit grown up.
And haven't been ID'd for it yet, but
hey, you take that.
yeah,
you take
100%.
that.
Yeah, well, it just makes you think. Well, maybe I could have gotten them underage, but which you wouldn't.
No, you would not do that.
Because
We don't condone underage
No.
drinking. I can't wait. I can't. What does beer taste like?
Oh no! It's nothing you have to get too excited about. It's just a
I
nice...
got until June. Is it good?
Yeah, no, it's a good way to cool down after a hot day.
Really, man, I'm so
Yeah.
excited to try it.
Just cutting away from the episode real quick, we thought we should remind you guys about our socials.
You can find us as Amateur Shit Talkers on TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram.
And if you'd like to find them all in one place, hit the link in our Insta bio.
On a bit of a more light-hearted note about childhood experiences,
Matt and I were discussing this one the other day, and we've discussed
this
it
is
a
when
few
we're
times.
on our little road trip in Corryong. It was Ben brought it up, and we were like, "Holy shit, this is the difference between us."
Yeah, this is a revolutionary, and I feel like it makes up friendships. I don't think you can have two of them together and have.
No,
a
you
true
can't.
bond.
You can't have yin and yang and yang.
No.
It's got to be yin and yang.
Yeah.
And in this this case, we're talking about Harry Potter or Star Wars growing up. It's one of them. I'm Star Wars through and through. I've watched one Harry Potter movie and hated it.
And it could also be like you obviously have a bit of a nerdiness for space.
No,
No,
don't call me a nerd about space. I just like to study.
he's a nerd about
Okay,
space.
yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. I'll own that.
But maybe that was through Star Wars. Maybe you thought, you know what, I want to be fucking Luke Skywalker.
No, I genuinely believe it is.
Yep. So
I'm pretty
maybe,
sure that's where it comes from.
mate, you're gonna see one day. You guys are gonna look up the stars, and you're not gonna see the fucking what was it? Elon Musk's fucking
Starlink.
Starlink.
You just see me
Yeah, you're not going to see Starlink. You're going to see Matt Whitfield from the Amateur Shit Talkers. Yeah.
flying through on the Millennium Falcon. Holy shit, I love Star Wars, mate. Nah.
Oh, I love Harry Potter.
Shut up. Let me talk. Star Wars, like, I remember one time, well, not even one time, the first time I ever watched Star Wars, I was with our mate Will Hasty. I would have been about 3 years old. My mum, his mum, and Will's grandma, they were sitting down having, like, morning tea at Will's grandma's place, and I had Mum's laptop, and we were sitting out in the garden watching Star Wars, and it was just one of the best moments of my life.
Sitting
and
out in the garden watching Star Wars?
Yeah, I was sitting out, oh no, a bit weird. I was sitting out in the garden, like watching it was like some sort of gardening thing out at Will's grandma's place.
What, like on the TV or?
No, on the laptop.
Oh, okay.
Like we had the DVD in the laptop, and then ever since then, whenever I had a sick day from kinder, I would set up some chairs in the in the little lounge room thing we had, and I was pretend that I'm like flying at the X-wing. Oh, I loved it so much. I still do. Like that is just Star Wars is it for me.
Yeah.
Like that. Oh, that is just a staple of my childhood. Like there's a few staples in my childhood, but that's like top 3.
Yeah, and I think what's her name? Princess Leia. Yeah, I think like it also developed people's tastes as well. Obviously, you might be into Princess Leia type stuff.
Padme. It's Padme Amidala you're thinking of, man.
Oh,
trust me, it's Padme.
Okay, all right. But me. Oh no, I used
Hermione
to have
Granger.
Yeah, I had a fat crush on Hermione, and even what's her name? One of the sisters or something. I think Harry was going out with her at one stage. Actually,
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember.
On your Harry though.
Yeah,
on you, mate.
But I'm not sure. Like, I have not watched a Harry Potter movie for fucking ages now.
I've still recently watched Star Wars.
I feel
watch them a bit.
I feel like if you're a Harry Potter person, it's just during childhood, but Star Wars just carries on.
Star Wars is so good.
Like
Holy shit.
You'll walk into someone's room who watched Star Wars as a child, and you'll still find one of those fucking Millennium Falcon Lego things on their desk.
I definitely don't have a TIE Fighter. Big TIE Fighter Lego thing, and also at the apartment I've just got a massive Star Wars poster on the wall.
Something that kills me though is I reckon like a lot of you can maybe we'll make this into a short content bit, but I feel like girls would find a lot of Star Wars people ick.
Ick. I don't know a lot, mate. Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith. Oh my god.
No, but like
it makes me question.
But like I feel like I can't read girls and what their icks are. Like I'll never freaking know it and
I know
understand it.
Because just look in the mirror, mate. Look in the mirror.
No, I'd choose. I try to be like that guy. The one that started like my shoulder. If you guys are listening and not watching, I just did the shoulder shuffle.
Look, I know you guys are lost right now, and I'm here with you. I don't know what Ben's going on about, but let's just let him try again.
But I feel like girls would find that bloke an ick. Do you know the guy I'm talking about?
Girls have different tastes. Like everyone finds things differently.
I know.
It's not one universal thing.
I feel like if you're like always doing really awkward things, it's gonna throw a lot of girls off.
Well, no, like there's different types.
Yeah.
A lot of girls like guys that are you autistic and gay? You gotta ask the question.
Yes.
Mate, him and me talk about Star Wars. You'd be asking the question about 3 times already. This thing. I just said that.
The way you get excited about it, I feel like people, like some girls.
I think I've got a touch of it.
Yeah.
Which one? Either or. I think I've got a touch of it.
Either or. You might have both. Might have one. Who knows? It might be based off the other.
Who knows? I think I genuinely think Star Wars started it for me. Like in terms of, mate, I'm doing this class at school, right? I'm literally studying black holes. Do you want to know the research question I'm studying for the year? How has gravitational wave technology increased our scientific intelligence of X-ray binaries since X-ray astronomy, and what are the limitations of the technology?
Yeah,
that's one of my classes this year. So that, just for hindsight, there's a touch of the tism there.
It's pretty simple.
There is a touch of the tism.
It's pretty simple, really, but I won't go in depth about it in this podcast because we aren't the space podcast.
Can I throw in something as well, just for Ben? And if you're thinking that I'm the weird one here, all right, I'm not really the weird one. I just like stuff out of space. Ben's like stuff's in space, like in our own space. He likes my personal space. The Huberman Lab, that podcast. This kid, he will quote it twice a day. Like probably. Minimum. He'll say, I was listening to the Huberman Lab the other day, and I learnt this, and I learnt this, and I learnt this. I'm like, wow, you know what? You're starting to pick up random, like, random bits of knowledge.
But it's the thing that kills me though. I was just talking about this to someone the other day, but like someone could be so smart, but not in the way that it's ever brought up in like your day-to-day life. Like no one's ever gonna ask me the question about neurobiology.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So like I'm sitting here, I'm a fucking brainiac, but you don't know it because you never asked me a question about neurobiology.
This is why you got to start talking about it yourself. This is why I bring up Star Wars.
That's why I'm out sitting in the con room like year 12's like, you know, black holes are all like, because people have to know about it, and then there's a fucking brainiac about space. But
yeah, I'm a nerd.
Yeah, I need to start pushing out there that I know. Fucking,
You just got to use your voice, man.
Yeah, but look, sometimes I butcher things. Like I need to listen to the episodes twice over because otherwise I'll just like, I'll get to the end of it, I'll be like, oh fucking my globe and fucking fucking. But like I'll have no clue what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because like I picked up bits and pieces,
yeah.
and I try and put it together. And I'm like, oh no, what the fuck? That's not. Yeah, that makes no sense. But yeah, like that definitely. It's definitely shaped my bloody brain.
I was talking to I was talking to my mum actually the other day. My brother and I were talking to mum about the YouTube channel called Oversimplified. And it basically it just describes historical events in an overly simple way that's very easy to understand.
Yeah, I know.
I watched that shit growing up so much. Like on YouTube, I watched random docos about World War One. I watched random docos about anything. And you just acquire so much random knowledge. And it's like such a wide range of knowledge, just doing different things like geographical knowledge, like even just from learning about the wars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You learn so much like that, and social media, when it came in, people thought, or at least even just the internet going back like 30, 40 years, they thought it was going to make everyone a lot smarter. A lot of the time it didn't. But I think I've definitely used it in a way, a lot of people do as well, that you pick up so much random knowledge that you become so much better off for it, and you're not actually using it just to scroll through TikTok and rot your brain all day.
Yeah.
I think it's been the best thing for me is when I learnt from a younger age to just watch like when I got interested in just learning about history and just acquiring random knowledge, because as soon as you have a wide range of knowledge, you can be the smartest person in the room.
100%.
Like,
yeah.
I strive to be, and I don't think it's a bad thing, I don't think it's a cocky thing, but I strive to be the smartest person in the room. I think it's a very healthy thing for me in terms of like my own mental state, if I try and be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah,
because I will always keep learning.
Yeah. Because, like, obviously there's always going to be someone who's fucking...
Exactly.
You know,
I'm never actually going to be the smartest.
Yeah, like, someone's always smarter at something. Like, you're smarter at space. I'm smarter at neurobiology, like, that sort of stuff. But, like, we'll never top each other at that because, like, we've got our own interest. And if you have your own interest, then you can obviously learn that sort of stuff a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly.
Like my dad was saying the other day, like, I was getting new tyres for my car and... I was like, oh, because we're in the city, and he was like, oh, we'll grab new tyres. I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't remember the size of them. And then he just spits out like these. He's like fucking 272, 14, RZ. And I'm like, how the fuck do you remember that? And I'm like, and then he's like, because it interests me. Like, I tell people this all the time.
Yeah.
If it's like to do with cars or something, you know, just something mechanical or, you know, creative, then I'll be able to remember it. But as soon as it comes to, with me, it's like things that I feel like are going to be most useful. Yeah. So I'll be able to spit out the Wi-Fi password right now, URNED, bloody AMA 4X, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah. I forgot about the fancy part. So, yeah. It's the way you put things as well. Like, it's crazy the mind works, but we'll get into that in another episode because that's just a whole other thing.
That's a whole new thing. That's when we let Ben's Huberman lab brain unleash on you guys.
It's coming out.
If you want, you can let us know. But I can happily talk about black holes and stuff for a segment, and Ben can talk about neuroscience.
Maybe one episode it should just be another solo episode, and we'll like just try and debrief as much as we can about
our interests,
about you and your space, and me and neurobiology.
Oh man, that'd be great fun for me. I'd love to do that.
It'll be great fun, and then like people get to the end of the episode and be like, "What the fuck did I just listen to?" And how much of it is actually true?
Yeah, we're not a reputable source, guys.
Don't list us in your fucking.
Don't actually believe what we say. We just say it with confidence. It doesn't mean it's true. All right, 100%. Story of my life. Don't like.
Number one thing. Matt can be wrong so often, but no one will ever think he's wrong because he's so
confident, arrogant and confident the way that I speak, and especially when I'm talking to someone.
No, that's
like,
right.
Especially when I'm talking, when I'm talking to someone and like that's not Ben, but Ben's around. He knows when I'm taking the piss, but like I'll be like, nah, it's this, and then they'll be like, oh, I'll just look at Ben and just piss myself. It's just so wrong. I got no idea about it.
Yeah,
But
you got no clue.
as soon like, okay, I'm gonna talk about how I broke the law here before, but you can just. Like, my ID a lot of times in the first couple of months has just been confidence.
You've never bought
Confidence
beer
gets you anywhere. My dad's from Marupna, and there's this one guy from Marupna, I can't remember his name, but he would talk his way into everywhere. He's been down on the ground holding the cup with, holding the premiership cup on the ground with the team 4 times. He never had a ticket to the grand final. He talked himself in every single time. I can't remember his name. He's a famous enough guy, like, for what he does. But he was just so confident, and he would just talk his way in. Like, one time, he was a Carlton supporter. It was Carlton-Collingwood grand final, and Collingwood won, I believe. And he got pissed off. He went and grabbed the cup off the Collingwood captain. Got a photo with it and gave it back. There's footage of this.
Yeah, it's crazy. And
confidence gets you... Confidence takes you places.
Yeah,
you never know who you're going to meet. You never know who you're going to talk to.
Yeah, it's like don't want to bring math into it, but it's like a plus and a minus.
Mm-hmm.
And the plus is the person who has, just like 1 second thought about what they're saying. But then, the minus is the person who's always going to win in the equation. And it's going to be the person who is the most confident. And it's
Absolutely.
not like they're not most confident about their answer. They're most confident about the way that they put their answer out there.
Absolutely. It's like an election campaign. you vote for the person who you think is going to do the best, and that person is a lot of the time the one who's most confident.
Yeah, 100%. The way that they do things and everything, and like even if the thing that they're doing is wrong and they say it confidently, then you think, well, this person's a strong-minded person.
Man, he's probably right.
Yeah,
he might be right.
He or she.
Yeah, they might be right.
Yeah.
They might be wrong, but they might be right because they sound like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, 100%. And we're gonna segue into. I'm gonna use Matt's word. He always uses segue. He's gonna segue into a new segment. But here, I've written down on the laptop, "Master of your own fate," and this is like I was talking to Mum and Dad. I was in a cafe yesterday, and I was like looking. I want to get patchwork done on my arm, but that's relevant for now. But one thing, there's like a phrase, and it's amor fati, and it means it roughly translates to love of fate, and it's so crazy. Like as soon as you start believing in fate, and like maybe like your thoughts are right and everything, then like you can be a happier person than what you are now. Like if you're kind of living life thinking, fuck, like what's going to happen in the future, all that sort of stuff, then you're going to like constantly get hung up with like, if I do this now, like fuck, what's going to happen later on.
Can I just jump in one movie quote there? I can't remember what it's from, but it says like one, it's maybe possibly The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and he says I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow, and the guy replies with how exciting.
Oh, love it.
That's just like that. That's just a way to sort of think about what Ben's saying here.
Yeah, like a simple way to put it in the way that I speak, fucking blabber and blabber. But no, like I think the healthiest thing you can do is, although it can be scary, and like obviously the world will be taking you by storm, but just don't think about tomorrow. Like just think about the present moment. And
that's all you got. Who knows that tomorrow's going to come?
Yeah, well, that's it.
You don't know.
What's the point of planning tomorrow if you don't know if it's going to come? You could wake up dead.
You could. That's a bit of a harsh way to think of it there, Ben. But
it's probably the wrong way to put it because like you can't really wake up dead, can you?
Yeah, you're just gonna dead, aren't you?
Just gonna be dead. But no, I got this book and it was like another thing. It had ideas to remember. I can't remember. Fuck, what's the book called? Something about super. I can't remember. Subconscious mind. The powers of the subconscious mind or something. But it was like one of the ideas to remember was if you think evil. I'm gonna butcher this a little bit, so bear with me. But if you think evil will happen, like evil actions. But if you think good, good will happen. And that's the only way you can put it. If you start thinking, like better about yourself or better things, like there was another thing. Your conscious mind is the watchman at the gate. Its chief function is to protect your subconscious mind from false impressions. Choose to believe that something good can happen and is happening now. Your greatest power is your capacity to choose. Choose happiness and abundance. How powerful is that? And it's so true, because you can immediately, like, no matter where you are, you can switch up your thoughts. Like, there's no simpler way to put it. You can just, if you want to think good, you think good.
Yeah, absolutely.
nothing
It's all
more
about
to it.
it's all about your perspective on life.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot of 100%. It can be hard to make the change, but you're never going to get anywhere if you don't put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, 100%. And like, there's a saying like you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but that's like, it's not even true. Like,
That's
just one
talking
of
about
those-
dogs.
Yeah. I know, but people
I know
like,
what you mean. Yeah,
put it into play in other places, and like, I guess you could say, like, you can't make a negative person a positive person, like a person who thinks positively, but you certainly can. Like, if you start putting, like, even this book next to me, this can switch your mind up instantly. If you read the book, you think, well, shit, like, someone has this perspective, and they've written a book about it, and they're fucking, like, they seem happy. So, like, if I want to be happy as well, then why would I not just do the same stuff as them? Which, obviously, there's circumstances to that. Obviously, so, like, some people will find that other things make them happier, but it's all about your thoughts and the way that you put your thoughts.
absolutely. I think that's a very motivational way, inspirational way to. Well, I guess that can be our final quote of the day, can't it?
Yeah,
I think that's the best way to do it.
Can I put another one?
Quickly.
Begin to think from the standpoint of the eternal truths and principles of life, and not from the standpoint of the fear, ignorance, and superstition. Do not let others do the thinking for you. Choose your own thoughts and make your own decisions.
Boom.
Bravo.
Bravo.
Guys, get
Thanks
your
for
hands on
coming.
this book. We're not sponsored, but get your hands on the book. Seriously. I mean, if you think we're a good podcast, which, geez, like, we're pretty good, aren't we? Anyway. But, like, honestly, do a bit of reading. Get some positive books.
Absolutely.
That can change your mindset.
Absolutely. Well, Ben, it was shit talking to you. Thank you for joining me on the couch this lovely morning.
No, Matt, thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure.
It was shit talking
my
to
absolute
you.
pleasure. Oh,
And Matt,
our roles reversing.
and Matt,
I'm so excited. I've waited for this my whole life.
what's your last words?
Roll the outro music.